Hello, it's time again for a market heartbeat for February 2017. We are going to look today at the current Salt Lake City real estate market and what its condition means to both our home buyers and home sellers. All right, let's jump right in. According to the Wasatch Front Regional MLS, which is the multiple listing service, it's where all of us real estate agents put our listings into the computer. We mark them as available, we change their prices, we mark them as under contract and sold, and appraisers use them for values, all that. It's an important website for us here in Salt Lake. Anyway, they do statistics for us too. And according to them, they do this market absorption rate, which is a fancy way of saying how many months of inventory are currently available on the Salt Lake City or Salt Lake County market. And currently there are 3 months of inventory available. So that means that we have, if nothing changed, if the same amount of houses stayed on the market and the same number of buyers stayed out there, we could run out of houses for people to buy in 3 months, which is a seller's market. A balanced market between buyers and sellers is 6 months of inventory, and a buyer's market is more than 6 months of inventory. So what does that mean if you're a seller? That means sell your house. A lot of sellers have been on the fence thinking, oh, I don't have the equity. I'm not gonna be able to sell it. I don't know. Get off the fence. If you wanna get that house sold, it is a great time to sell a house. Let's look at it a different way. Also, according to the MLS, the multiple listing service, today, as of today, if you look at Salt Lake County as a whole and every house, townhouse, condo that's currently for sale on the market, in the residential market, right now there are 1,756 houses as of 5 minutes ago when I looked. And that's how many are for sale. Now, then we want to contrast that with the number of houses that are under contract. So homes that have accepted an offer on their house that are currently under contract to close in the near future. And that number is higher. It's 2,104 houses. I say houses, I do mean townhomes or condos or any type of residential dwelling. They are, so the fact that the number of houses under contract is higher than the number of houses for sale is kind of a big deal for, again, I'm a nerd, so it's kind of exciting. But it just means that if you're a seller, sell your house, you're gonna sell it. If you have, even if you have a house that needs some work and you don't want to put work into it before you sell it, it doesn't matter. You're still gonna get it sold as long as you price it right. If you price it a little too high, buyers are gonna know and it's gonna maybe take a little longer to sell. But if you price your home correctly, and looking at the comparable properties, you're gonna get buyers who are gonna write offers on your house, because that's just, we've got a lot more buyers than we have houses right now. So, but we do have buyers out there. So that's what it means for sellers. If sellers are putting their houses on the market, those that are pricing them well are getting them sold. But for buyers, it is a little bit harder because they're often competing with other buyers where they are, going to have to try and make their offers stand out above other buyers or make them higher to do that, which can be a little bit disheartening. But that being said, you can still buy houses. Last year we were in a market similar to this, and all of my buyers were able to find houses. So it's not impossible. I'm going to post a link at the bottom of this post that is an article I wrote last year. It's how to buy a house in a seller's market, and it's how to make those offers you write stand out above the ones you may be competing with. Because your price is important, but it's not always the only way to make your offer stand out. And so it's a really good article, it's really helpful, and it's helped a lot of my clients get into houses that we've been competing with multiple offers on. So I'm gonna link that below too. I want to talk a little bit about a forecast breakfast that the National Association of Realtors put on here in Salt Lake a couple of weeks ago. There were 2 main speakers. One was Lawrence Yoon. He is the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. And the second was James Wood, and I'm going to read his title because it's a little bit of a mouthful. But James Wood is an Ivory Boyer Senior Fellow at the Kem C. Gardner Policy Institute at the University of Utah. So he is a researcher and economist there, and he's been there a long time. So both of them spoke. I'm going to include a link to the presentation also below here in the notes so that you can watch it if you want to. To me, it's interesting. I'm a real estate nerd, so I like that kind of stuff. You may or may not, don't feel like you have to, but if it is something that you're interested in, feel free to watch it. It is nice to see kind of what happened over the last year and what they expect for the future. But today I just wanted to bring up a couple of things that James Wood brought up in his presentation, and I'm going to include a link to a PDF that he created, a report that he created for the event as well, so you can look at that too if you want to. But James actually believes that in the next year, home prices are going to continue to rise, but that they will be slowed over last year. Last year, prices, I think, went up I believe it was between 5 and 7%. I don't have that in front of me, but if I'm remembering correctly, it was about 5 to 7% growth throughout the state. What they're expecting for 2017 is a 3 to 5% growth in prices for homes, which is good that it slowed down a little. That slow and steady is always nice when you are when you're talking about home prices increasing, because it keeps them affordable and keeps us from rising too high and then crashing back down. So we like that. That's healthy growth. Part of the reason he thinks that that price increase is going to slow down a little bit is because he believes that sellers will start to see that they are sitting on more equity than they think they are, and they will start listing their homes and more houses will come on the market, which will be great for buyers because that will loosen that up a little bit and make it a little easier to get in those homes you want to get in. Also, he believes that the mortgage rates, the interest rates for mortgages, will also increase. Both him and James Yoon, the chief economist at NAR, believe that those interest rates are going to go up in this next year. Neither of them think it's going to be a significant increase, but enough to make a difference. But also in raising those prices, because as prices go up and interest rates go up, your monthly payment goes up. So if the interest rate goes up, those prices continue to go up, people can't afford houses. So they think that they kind of balance each other. They expect the interest rate to go up, but it'll still probably be under 5% by the end of the year. I mean, again, it's a forecast. We don't know for sure, but that's kind of what they're thinking. So that's about it. The nuts and bolts of it is it's a seller's market. If you want to sell a house, put it on the market. You'll get your money. You'll get money out of it, and it will sell quickly. As long as we price it right, which I'll help you do. So, that's the biggest part. Buyers, though, don't lose heart. You'll still get in a place. You just need to be diligent and not drag your feet if you're serious about stuff. If you see something you like, go look at it because it won't last very long. And again, I'm going to post that article for how to buy a house in a seller's market below, and I'll post those links for the forecast breakfast down below as well. And yeah, if you want to get that house listed, I'm happy to help. I'll put my contact information below also. Or if you're maybe still on the fence and you just don't believe me, which is okay, you can be skeptical. I'm happy to provide numbers for you. I'm happy to do a competitive market analysis if you'd like. You just need to give me a call, shoot me a text or an email, and we'll get together and run some comparable properties and see what's sold in your area and kind of get an idea of what your property is worth, which knowing that is really helpful, I think. So I'm happy to do that as well if you're not quite ready. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything, just go ahead and reach out, and I will talk to you again next month.